Hello, welcome to Tools for Everyday Living. I'm Stacy Bullock, your host for today's show. And today's show is going to be a good one. And, it's really timely because I know that a lot of people out there are getting their bodies looked at or thinking about getting their bodies changed. But we have somebody here today that's going to talk to you about maybe not so much paying attention to the outside, but let's pay attention to who we are. But we're going to get to her soon, and I can't wait to introduce her. But I want to just say first, I want to say how grateful and thankful that I am to have this opportunity to bring to you all something that I know you'll be able to use in your daily lives. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for hanging out for this hour. I promise you that we are going to have a good time. We are going to talk about body love today, but I just want to give us a little small preface and talk about self love because in order for you to love your body, you're going to have to love the person in the body. And that person is so important, so vital, so significant to the earth. I'm telling you, you have a purpose. And without you, that part that you're going to play is not going to happen. Not the way you'll do it. Oh yeah, we can all tap into doing some same things, and some of us may have some skill sets of the same, but nobody's me and nobody is you. When I had a staff of about 35 secretaries, I used to tell them, yeah, you can leave the job, but no one can replace you. Why? Because you are uniquely you. There is something about you that is essential and it distinguishes you from everybody else. It may be your laugh, it may be your walk, it may be your sense of humor, it may be something that you bring to the table for others to gain some gain some um how can I, insight, but you have this beautiful ability about you that is crucial to the world. But it's up to you how you look at you. I'm going to say that again. It is up to you how you look at you. I found a picture of myself when I was in my early 20s. I am far from that now. But when I looked at that picture, I remembered the individual that I saw was not the individual that I saw then. The person that I'm looking at now through these lenses, through these eyes that have a different perception of who I am, I didn't see her then. When I looked in the mirror in my early 20s, I didn't see much. I didn't see much possibility. I didn't see much strength. I didn't see beauty inside or outside. And those things, because of my perception, it made it almost impossible for me to be distinguished outside of the circle that I was in. What made me stand out? Nothing at that time, because I didn't believe in me. I didn't believe in that person that I was looking at in the mirror. But now that I have discovered who I am, why I'm here, what my purpose is, now I can go every day and impact somebody else's life, because I believe that my mission in life is to help others to fulfill theirs. And so I just get a thrill out of that. I get so excited when it comes to helping people find out the uniqueness about who you are. I get so excited when I get to see people start to believe in the possibilities that they have in themselves. And it's not just on the outside, because everything that we see on the outside, it's within us. There's something in us that's turning, whether it's anger or bitterness or joy and happiness. It's going to find its way outside. So, yeah. So, dive a little bit deeper into this. Excuse me for the technical difficulties. I think I keep going in and out, but we are going to make sure that we fix that before we get back from our next break. But I just want to remind us, please don't stifle who you are. Please don't hide your authentic self. Be you. If you like wearing dark lipstick like me, or sometimes very bright lipstick, and I don't know if you could tell or not, but my hair is purple because I just love color. I love vibrancy. If you like to wear a blue sock and a plaid green sock, wear them. Be you, your genuine, real, authentic, unmistakable self. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to we're going to introduce our guest. We're not going to talk about her. She's going to be doing the talking. Her name is Carly Wolken, and I can't wait for her to get from behind the stage. So let me get out of here and take this break so she can get from behind the stage. Hi, my name is Stacy Bullock. I am the president and CEO of Ordered Steps Incorporated, a nonprofit organization whose mission is to provide tangible hope to formerly incarcerated female veterans and homeless women. We give them an opportunity to live a productive life while participating in our one-year training courses to guide them in life skills and job training. We're back. All right, let me get into this introduction of our guest today. Her name is Carly Woken, and Carly is a certified dream builder coach. She is also a certified body talk practitioner. We're going to get her to tell us more about that when she comes on. Carly, she has wisdom and knowledge in coaching, spirituality, psychology, physiology, equity, and energy to bring you to a unique healing modality. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Carly.
Hi, Stacy. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me on here. I'm so excited to talk with you.
Oh my goodness. I remember the day we met. We were in Newport Beach, California, in a conference called the World's Greatest Motivators. And I think that, guess what? 4 years ago, we were there, but here we are now being a part of one of those world world's greatest motivators. So I want to let you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're going to be talking to us about today.
Sure. Well, first, Stacy, I have to acknowledge just like watching your intro and everything that you were talking about. I love you and your work so much. Thank you for sharing your gifts, and I'm so glad that you have this platform. It's just the world, we need your work, and I love hearing that the work that you're doing with your nonprofit is still going strong, and I just loved hearing everything that you had to say. So, so yeah. So I'll tell a little bit about me and what I do. So I originally believed I would be like a therapist, always wanted to be in a helping profession, got a psychology degree, and then was on a long and winding road that led me to coaching and body talk. So I'll start with body talk, kind of work backwards. So, body talk is an energy healing modality that utilizes muscle testing to allow the client's body to point exactly to what's a priority for healing. So, it's all about the body's innate wisdom and innate ability to heal. The body wants to be in balance. The body knows what it's ready to heal. The body knows what's maybe not quite ready for healing. Sometimes we go into our own healing path thinking one thing, thinking that we need one specific thing, or we just have to get past this one issue that keeps coming up, this one obstacle. And really, like, our body is like, nope, we're going to work on something else. So it's an interesting modality to practice because it does really utilize the innate wisdom of the client and of the practitioner. So once the body points to something that's ready to be healed, there are different techniques that utilize tapping and breathing and hand positions that then send resources within the body. So it's a really positive and like only does good. So I just love the modality so much. I feel like since learning body talk and beginning my body talk journey, as someone who used to receive a lot of body talk and now gives a lot of body talk, it has really opened my eyes to the wonders that are our bodies, and that plus healing my disordered eating that I used to struggle with for almost a decade. Those two things, learning body talk and going through my own healing journey from disordered eating, I have really become this huge advocate for like we are incredible on a spiritual, like infinite level. And then you mix that with these amazing bodies that we have that are like earthly works of art and science that just do everything we need always, for the most part. I'm just I'm just like a body geek now. I'm like I bow down to the human body, and yet also like I think learning how to really work together with our body, our mind, and our spirit, to me, that's been kind of a, I guess, where my work and my own healing journey has taken me.
Yes, you have given us more than a mouthful here. I wanted to bring up, well, first of all, thank you for being so transparent,
Sure.
because there's somebody out here who needs to hear, that the people you see on the screen have gone through processes and gotten to this side and made it over here by utilizing processes that work for us.
Hmm.
You talked about the learning the body talk and listening to your body. That is so key. You have to be able to know yourself. That's why I talked about that earlier, to say you have to know yourself. You have to know your body. You have to know what's going on. You have to be able to listen, and not just listen, but follow the instructions that it's giving you. When your body tells you you need water, drink water. Don't drink soda, drink water. But tell us about more about body love. Is there a definition, or is this something that one of your theories or methodology?
So I will talk about the framework I use for body love. So this all kind of, I guess it was already started, my journey towards being a body love coach and body talk practitioner. And when I read the book by Bell Hooks, All About Love, it really changed the game for me on my understanding of love. And anyone who hasn't read it, this is your sign. Go read it. And when I learned her framework for love, I was like, wow, what if we, put flip this back on ourselves for self-love? Because like the two things that I pull from, I mean, she has a whole book all about love, but the two things I pull from it for my framework are that love is a relationship, or like not a relationship, but like a working definition for love is always acting in a way that promotes someone else's spiritual growth. And then there was a kind of a broader definition, that talked about the components that love has to have to really constitute love. And those components I also use in the framework for body love. And they are care, commitment, trust, respect, responsibility, and knowledge, with clear, open communication throughout. So, on one side, I was like, wow, that really kind of narrows down what love is. I don't know if I've ever really received love. Like, it was just like mind blow moment. But at the same time, I was like, but also that's like a lot of things. That's a lot of components that kind of broaden what love in action feels like for self-love or body love. Because if I'm taking an action that shows myself or my body care, commitment, trust, respect, responsibility,
Mhm.
and knowledge is used to determine what's needed in any given moment from all of those other components.
Right.
So, when I looked at it that way, I was like, that really broadens the scope of the actions we can take that are loving. At least that it felt like that to me, because I feel like a lot of times we associate love with this feeling. Like it's either
Mhm.
there or it's not. And a lot of times I think when it comes to the body, we think of that really only encompassing the way the body's looking.
Mm.
And we so often forget, like, the true purpose of our bodies is to allow us to interface with the world, to allow us to experience joy, to be with loved ones, to do things that bring us happiness And we get so caught up on how our body looks that we're completely forgetting to enjoy being in our bodies, which is kind of, to me, the point of this human experience. So when we stop making love just about looks, because in that bell hooks definition, the two definitions, always acting in a way that promotes um, someone's spiritual growth, and the care, commitment, trust, respect, responsibility, and knowledge with open communication, none of that has to do anything with appearances.
Absolutely nothing. And I heard you say a couple of words earlier, and I want you to think about these. We're going to go to another quick break and come back. But you said the body is magical. You said it is intelligent. And you said that it works. I don't know if you said it in these words, but it works with our mind. So when we get back, we want to talk about this magical body and how intelligent it is, because I am keenly aware that my body is way more intelligent than I ever thought that it was. But we'll be right back.
Have you found yourself wondering, what is my purpose? Why am I here? Recognizing the stranger in the mirror is the book for you. It helps us to unravel the mystery of who you really are, revealing your life's passion and why you should unveil the real you to the world. We need you. You are valuable and necessary for those who are connected to you. Do not be afraid to peek in and discover all your gifts and talents to share. It's real freedom when we reveal our authenticity. Stacey Bullock is a two-time best-selling author, transformational speaker, and host of Tools for Everyday Living TV show. She is committed to igniting resilience, personal transformation, and building life skills of her audiences and clients. The author of 2 previously written self-help books, Beaten Oil and Regain Power Through Resilience, Don't Let Your Brain Go Numb. Stacey imparts lessons that teaches readers to utilize their light as a guide for others, and discovering inner strength and resiliency to bounce back when life throws curveballs. Stacey may be reached for speaking engagements, leadership and employee training, and life skills coaching via her email at stacy@powerandresilience.com.
All right, we are back and we are ready to hear all about those last 3 words: magical, intelligent, and how does my body work with my mind?
All right. So I'll start with the magical part. And to me, it kind of is the immense intelligence that our body possesses that makes it so magical. In fact, our body is so intelligent and is constantly doing so much that it is beyond our mind's intelligence to even know what's going on. Like, think about when we get a cut, we're not consciously having to think, okay, red blood cells travel to this area, now make the scab, now and I don't even have words for this because I genuinely don't know what the body is doing when it goes from a scab back to, closed skin, right? The wounds heal, and I don't know what just happened. I just know that my body just, healed an open wound, and now my skin is back together, and everything's fine. Right? We might have a little scar, but that's okay too, because the body can even heal our scars over time. As I'm sure anyone with scars know, you get a scar at first, you're like, oh, this looks, not to talk about the looks of the body, but like, oh, this looks horrible. And then a year later, you're like, oh, I can barely see it. So the magic that our body possesses to heal itself and to let us really experience our joy in the world. Because to me, when we're in our joy, when we're in our purpose, and when we're in our community, we can really thrive in our bodies. And the magic of that is that we get to enjoy life. And when we remember that we can only enjoy life in our bodies, where we are right now, then life becomes magic.
Can you say that again? We can only enjoy life where?
In our bodies.
Yes.
Because, yes.
I,
That's,
I have to interject here. I tell people all the time. So, what are you going to do? You're just not going to go on the journey? You
mm,
have to go on the, you are in this body. So, the body is going to go on a journey. Now, it is up to us to decide whether we want to take advantage and thrive on the journey, or do we just want to allow life to push us in its direction? I kind of don't like the phrase that says living life on life's terms.
mm,
Because life it will throw you some stuff that you think to yourself, what in the world is going on? But when we realize that we cannot do anything productive without this vehicle, I think that's where we're going to get to that part. And I'm going to step back where you can talk about the intelligent and the mind and the body working together.
hmm So, again, we'll say it one more time. Life can only be enjoyed in our bodies and in the here and now. And so, a great moment just to plug why I feel that body love is so important. And it's also way more accessible when we stop making it about how our body looks, because we can't always just change how our body looks. Aside from adornments, aside from how we like present ourselves and style ourselves, right? Like that's typically not what we are trying to change so much about our bodies when we're in a space where we're feeling down and like our bodies aren't good enough. And so body love actually being accessible through those actions of care, commitment, trust, respect, responsibility, knowledge, facilitating spiritual growth. We can be more in harmony with being in our bodies and living the life that we really want to create. And again, that's where the magic happens. And back to the intelligence though of the body, our bodies are so ultra intelligent that they, number one, are always listening to us, and number two, they adapt to the conditions that we give them, which include the words that we tell them. So our bodies are listening to what we say about them. And it's really easy to do this because circumstances happen where it's like, okay, my knee is hurting, right? That's real. I'm not taking away that sometimes we get aches and pains and or that maybe something is wrong. But when we get so caught in that story that we're just always talking about my knee hurting, always thinking my knee is hurting, we're not allowing the body to actually heal. We're like directing the body to cause more pain. The body's listening, going, she says her knee just keeps hurting. Like, okay, I guess. Like it will like find a way to make you right. The body and like the subconscious, which is a whole other thing, but
Mhm, mhm.
subconscious, which is in your body, is always out to prove your conscious self right. So our subconscious and our
Yes.
bodies are always listening to us, and they just want us to be right. They're like, anything you say. So
Any and that's the bad part. Anything you say, anything we speak out into the atmosphere is gonna have movement
yeah,
because of what you said about us being so magical and us being so ultra intelligent. We have that's a power.
sure is.
And when we speak with power. Now that power will either one be a defeating power or a uplifting growth building, like you said earlier about building spiritual growth. This is not just when we speak to others, when we speak, period, we all should grow. While we're here speaking on this broadcast, yes, you and I have some information that we have studied and received degrees in, not just received, earned degrees in. We changed that wording. We have that information, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't share it. We when we speak and give information, and hopefully what we say most of the time is accurate and things that are going to help somebody else to grow. Is this how do we, speaking of growing, I remember when I joined the army when I was 19 years old. I barely weighed enough to get in. And so I had to somehow come to terms that after 8 weeks of basic training and eating a lot of starchy foods, mashed potatoes and biscuits, and a lot of gravies, I had to come to terms with the shape that that at that point that I had. So how do help people with that?
Just like accepting their bodies the way they are, or the way that they change, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So acceptance is a big, I don't want to say I mean, it's a huge part like of love, but to me it's more of a foundational piece that has to be there before love can be fully present, because
Mm.
acceptance is the opposite of judgment. So let's say that again, right? Like acceptance is the opposite of judgment. So when we're constantly judging and comparing ourselves, or even when it's to what I used to look like, right? Just completely disregarding the fact that bodies are literally designed to grow and change over time. It's how we have stayed alive as a human race over our, thousands of years of evolution. If our bodies weren't able to like grow and change, or like store extra fat, like we wouldn't have survived. We wouldn't be here. So because our ancestors were able to do that, we're here. We survived. And
Yes.
so I think when we really also get to the spiritual aspect of like universe, God doesn't make mistakes. Nothing is accidental. Everything is for us. Right? Like nothing's about us and yet everything is for us, right? Anytime we're interfacing with anyone else, we're interfacing with their stuff. We're on our journey, they're on their journey. That's why we, are not supposed to take things personally, even though we're human and we're not perfect. We're all just trying to evolve and grow.
Well, Carly, my first show, the title is "Don't Take It Personal."
See,
So if you have not seen the first show, please go back through YouTube and or E360 TV and check out that episode because it really brought some light, not just to the audience, it brought light to Stacy
mm,
to delve into looking at, why do I feel a certain way once certain people have left the room?
Mm,
Because I was taking things personal. I was taking their things though and internalizing it and making it mine.
mm,
Now I'm putting it in my body. I am using their words, allowing their words to transform my thinking about who I am. But what do we tell ourselves when we're in a transformation process?
mm. I mean, I think what do we tell ourselves is really dependent on where we are in the moment. And so first we
Mm.
have to really be aware of ourselves and like being aware of our thought patterns. Because if
Mhm.
we just and I'm like realizing we still got to talk about the body and the mind, but if we just let the mind have its way, it's going to come up with a whole lot of reasons that we should just stay small, right? Because it's ultimately trying to keep us safe. But
Mm.
in this new day and age, like, our survival isn't as um nitty gritty as it used to be, right? It used to be like, for most of our ancestors, like, stay away from danger, like find shelter, find food. But like now our minds they really haven't kept up with how quickly our world has evolved. So our minds are constantly telling us things to keep us safe, but the mind is really just supposed to be the tool. It's not supposed to be the leader of like
Mm.
your being, of your body. Your mind is like your servant. And then even when we talk about like the body, the heart, right? Like the heart
Mhm.
is actually its own brain as well, as is the gut. We have three
Mhm.
brains. And the heart really needs to be the leader because the heart is the connection to the infinite intelligence of the universe that is in all of us, that is
Yes.
mirrored in our own bodies, like our bodies being this little universe, right?
Mhm.
And we,
Mhm.
like, our essence is the center, and every single one of our billions of cells is always working with every single other cell in our body to make sure we are good and to make sure that they're listening to us, right? So
Yes.
back to that intelligence and what you said about is what we're telling ourselves and others, is it uplifting or is it limiting? Because the body is
Yes.
listening, and it will adapt to conditions for like health and wellness and joy, or it will maladapt to conditions of negativity and unwellness and poor health, right? So that's why
Mhm.
it's so important that we're aware of where our minds are taking us at any given time. And then so what do we tell ourselves in those transformational moments when we realize that we're like being really rude to ourselves, or we're being so mean to myself? When I say, ooh, like I was just picking myself apart in this mirror, right? Like, for
Yeah.
that awareness, we have to take the awareness and act on it.
Right.
So
I'm gonna tell you this. I walked past a mirror one day, and I think it was post pandemic. And when I walked past the mirror, my mind wanted to say something negative, and I had to immediately hurry up and change that thought because I almost spoke something that was not going to be uplifting for me or good for me. So, what I told myself, and here we are, um, body talk.
yeah,
What I told myself was that if I wanted to make a change with what I saw, I'm the only one that has the control to do that.
so
And so I said, and if you're not going to make any changes, don't say anything about it. When you decide in your heart, like you were just talking about, in the core, in the center of who you are, the place where all the things in life swirl around and are now coming forward. So that's why we have to make sure we keep our heart pure too, so
Mhm.
that when things do come forward, they don't come with any malicious intent, or they don't come with negativity that alters who we are. So we get ready. We got to go one more break. But when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about. I know you mentioned the mind and the body working together, but I want the people to hear a little bit about this unconditional love state, the state of unconditional love. We'll be right back. This is Tools for Everyday Living. Hi, this is Stacy Bullock of Ordered Steps Incorporated, and I am here with Miss S, and she has been one of our favorite clients who we were able to assist. And I'm going to let her tell you all what it means to her for her to be assisted.
Okay, well, before I met Stacy, I'd been homeless for about 20 years here in Long Beach, California. But since I met Stacy, I mean, she got intimately involved with me, and now I'm inside. We've been inside for a little over 2 years, and we're doing better. Me and my dog Coco, and I mean, she's helped me out so much. I don't know what to do.
Just like that, we're back. And we want to hear about unconditional love to the body, to because when we say the body, that encompasses, for me, it encompasses just about everything about us. So take it away.
Yeah. I feel like our body, to me, it's like the home for our essence. It houses our mind, it houses every experience we've ever had. And yes, being loving towards our bodies is being loving towards our whole selves. And when we talk about unconditional love, it means to me, for the body, that there's nothing that you can do that can elicit non loving actions from yourself. Right? When we get to a state of unconditional self love, unconditional body love, it doesn't matter if we mess up, we're still going to be kind to ourselves. It doesn't matter if we don't love what we see in the mirror today, we're still going to act with love towards ourselves. And, body image is the toughest part of the equation. When you're healing, like in the eating disorder recovery community, it's known as like the final frontier. It's the last thing. It might not ever get to where you want it to be. And that's just how it's looked at. Now, I believe that it can get to where you want it to be. But part of that is that acceptance piece, right? And if we give ourselves kind of unconditional acceptance, like, you know, I was born this way, I didn't choose this body, it chose me, like this body was chosen for me by God, by the universe. I have something special to do in this body. My body is so much more than how it looks. My Actually, how it looks is the least interesting thing about me. Like, how I look is the least interesting thing about me. And so, and that's, I say that for me, but I mean for everyone. And
Yeah.
so that unconditional love, it just, to me, it means showing up with loving action, with acceptance, no matter what. And we don't, enough of the beating ourselves up for messing up, because like that doesn't help anyone. We give ourselves grace, we give ourselves kindness, and any moment that we're aware of the way we're treating ourselves, the way we're speaking to and about ourselves, is a moment where, like you said, can just switch the thought, switch the words. Sometimes I say stuff out loud and immediately, even if I'm talking to someone, I just go, actually, I really didn't mean that. What I really meant is, this, and I correct myself, and I correct myself with something loving and supportive and accepting. And the one more thing that I want to say about that acceptance piece, and God, the universe doesn't make mistakes. Like,
Mhm.
all are the way we are for a reason. And there's also very like sinister reasons in our society that is like the only reason we're not okay with how we are, with the way we are, right? Like diet culture,
Mhm.
and just the media, the way it markets to us. Marketing is all about making us not okay so that we buy products, or plans or whatever, to make ourselves more acceptable. And
Right.
yeah.
And see, and now we have this, technology is a great thing. However, it still brings the negativity with it. The people who, as the saying goes, hurt people hurt people. And, people sit behind their computer screens all day, and just to take opportunities to bash someone because of something that they're feeling about themselves. And that's another thing that I really want people to grab a hold to. When somebody says something to you, they're making that statement according to their experiences. They're not making that statement according to how you know you. They're making it according to how they know themselves. And I want to make sure that I also say that, please, when you were talking, Carly, I kept hearing when you said commitment, commitment. I want us to make sure that we commit to loving ourselves. Don't tell yourself no anymore. When you say to yourself, I'm going to go to the park, I'm going to sit on an scenic view. Do it. Don't talk yourself out of it. Go and do it. Go and do something that is going to refresh your mind, your body, and your soul. And we are, as Carly mentioned earlier, we are magical because we have power to turn thoughts on, turn thoughts off. We don't have the control of what comes in, but we have the control over what we entertain.
Mm.
And I always call it an alternative thought pattern. So when something comes, take the alternative, the good, switch it over to good. And I guarantee you that it will change your life. Your thinking will change your life. Man, this has been awesome. Time is running out so fast. Carly, you have anything you'd like to add? Tell the people how they can find you.
Sure. Well, one little thing about what you just said, the alternative, right? Like, at first, it's the alternative route, it's the alternate route. We have to think about switching to something kind or switching to something supportive. But with repetition and action, I think action, like, no tool works without acting and actually using the tool, right?
Yes,
And like, tools can be as
absolutely.
simple as switching a thought, and but you have to do it. And the more you do it, the more the alternate route will become your new um autopilot route. because
Yes.
that's what our brain wants to do. Our brain and our body want to get on an autopilot that works for us in our daily life, and we get our things done, and we have to direct that if we don't like what our autopilot currently is, and we have to act in ways that will bring us close the gap between the life we're living and the life we want to live. Right?
Yes. And in here, I want to say that it's that word that people don't like. It's called discipline.
Mm.
And it's called practice. Practicing disciplining your mind. That was last week's show. So thank you for the segue. Please
Yeah.
tell us how we can find you, though.
Sure. So my business is called Walken Wellness, and that's WOLKEN. And so I'm Walken Wellness on Facebook, Instagram, walkenwellness.com. Thinking about getting my TikTok back going up. If you like TikTok, I have some good content on there. And yeah, I look out for body love workshops, both virtual and in person. I would love to be giving some in Southern California, South Florida. I almost said South Florida, but South Florida too. Those are kind of my spots. And Kentucky. I'm from Lexington, Kentucky. So, and I live in Denver, Colorado. So if you're in any of those locations, look out for some in-person body love workshops where we'll do a deeper dive into really experiencing body love and learning what it is for us, because it's different for everyone also.
Yes.
And yeah, and some virtual ones that anyone can participate in. So
Awesome. I want to thank you, Carly, for coming on today. It has been an absolute pleasure. I mean, I've learned so much. I feel like I just ate a full course meal, and I am not joking. I am going to put these things to use, but I want our audience to remember the moral of this story is do not entertain negative thoughts of you because the gem is being revealed. So go ahead, fall in love with that unique you, and everything is going to be okay. I always say, I have a saying, always be awesome. That's in any situation, every situation, we take the awesome route. So thank you. Join us again next Friday, Tools for Everyday Living at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Talk to you soon.
I'm Stacy Bullock, and I'm committed to waking your power to bounce back quickly from life's challenges. I've learned there is power in resilience. There was a point in my life when I closely identified with the Sade song, Soldier of Love. Mostly what I identified with was the part that says, I've lost the use of my heart, but I'm still alive. Doubt, disappointment, rejection, it left a stain on my soul. But that's the place where our determination lives. And that's the place where we have to dig in and find resilience so that we can bounce back. I have taken all of that disappointment and despair, and now I use it as a catalyst. It has become my energy to fight, to become a better, a stronger human being every day. Why do I do this? 2 reasons. So I can help you understand that you can become better, and that you can become stronger, and then you can survive any situation. The second reason is because I was born to do it. I am a transformational speaker who can help you know that there is power after pain.
Every day, living tools for every day, living tools for every day, living every day.
Have you found yourself wondering, what is my purpose? Why am I here? Recognizing the stranger in the mirror is the book for you. It helps us to unravel the mystery of who you really are, revealing your life's passion and why you should unveil the real you to the world. We need you. You are valuable and necessary for those who are connected to you. Do not be afraid to peek in and discover all your gifts and talents to share. It's real freedom when we reveal our authenticity. Stacey Bullock is a 2-time best-selling author, transformational speaker, and host of Tools for Everyday Living TV show. She is committed to igniting resilience, personal transformation, and building life skills of her audiences and clients. The author of 2 previously written self-help books, Beaten Oil and Regain Power Through Resilience. Don't let your brain go numb. Stacey imparts lessons